Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the live show. It's Sunday night, and I'm getting ready for this week and the new year. So let's get rolling. I changed the studio around a little bit, changed the walls. I'll have that updated tomorrow, everything completed. I'm going to put some lighting and some nice stuff, make it look like it's welcoming. I thought that dark gray was just a little bit too dark, and so I wanted to brighten it up for the future and the 2025 because we're going to crush this market, and I think we're all going to be on a fun adventure together. So I just wanted to look a little different, look better, and kind of brighten everybody's day and keep us having a positive attitude and energy. So I thought that darkness was way too dark, and I was like, it has to go. So let's roll into 2025 with that positive and fun attitude. We're crushing the market, and we're going to continue to do it. So here we go. And unfortunately, Jimmy Carter did pass away at 100 years old. The guy made it to 100. So that's pretty impressive in itself. So Jimmy Carter did pass away, and here we go with the market. Let's see what's going to be happening this week. And again, we'll have a short week with New Year's Day being closed in the middle of the week on a Wednesday. So, and then New Year's Eve is Tuesday. I didn't even look to see if the market was closing at 1. I'll check it out in a little bit. But let's get rolling and see what's going to be popping tomorrow. All information presented here is for educational and informational purposes only. It's not intended as financial advice, so always do your due diligence. I hope everybody had a great weekend. And here we go. Let's get rolling with RVSN. This thing was popping this week, or not this week yet, but last week. And it was up about 44 cents last Friday, and it was cruising. And we did say that train was going to be off and rolling. It opened at 126. It got up to 168, and I'm not so sure it's going to continue to run. It's up at the top. It has that look like it could be one of them early morning poppers. So keep your eye on it for that momentum early in the morning, but be careful because it is up in the air at that top. I'm not sure how long it wants to stay up there, but again, you wee bowlers and early morning traders, check out RVSN and see if it has that momentum going up in the morning, and we'll check it out at 7 a.m. and see what it looks like. Holo, this thing, remember we were talking about it, saying it was looking pretty good there, and it ran up like over $1 on Friday. So there you go. And I said after this one, we can stop looking at it, but it did pop up there, 155 to 257, and it closed at 253 and looks pretty good. It has a lot of room. It gets right up over this 250 area. It can get cruising. So, and it's over two, it's at 253. But I mean, if it can hold up over this 250, say get to 260 area, it can really get popping off of that 50 right there. And it has some room. It didn't even get to the top yet. So, Holo, keep an eye on that one because that could keep that momentum in the morning, just like RVSN. And let's look at FFIE, that Faraday Future Intelligent Electric. And this thing started to curl up on Friday, caught my eye. And I think you might see it run for some more on tomorrow, Monday morning. So keep an eye on this. It went 132 to 220. It's at $2 now. And it has some room. It's over to 50. And it does look pretty good. So keep an eye on that FFIE. And again, it looks like it wants to have that momentum from Friday. And obviously, the market conditions can dictate it, but this one does look pretty good to continue to move up there. So keep an eye on that. And Buru, Buru, this one was rolling up there Friday as well. And it's one that we've looked at for a while, and it was cruising up when we were looking at it. We watched it down here at that bottom around that 16 cent area. It's at 54 right now, and Buru looks like it's going to get popping tomorrow. So keep an eye on BURU because it does look good again after a weekend and a lot of holiday and stuff. It's not a guarantee because the 2 days off, but it does look great. I would keep an eye on it for some momentum up there. So Buru does look great, and there's some room to run. It's like I said, 57, 54, right around there, and it does have some room right there. So Buru, Buru, keep an eye on it. Nubaru and NDRA, another one that we've looked at a lot Endura Life Sciences almost has that same look as Buru and wants to get cruising here, guys. It's at 630. It recently split, but it does look like it wants to get cruising. NDRA has to get up, and it got up over there at 657. It has to hold up over that 658 area, and but it does look solid for tomorrow. So keep an eye on NDRA because it does look good. And SOBR, we were looking at this last week, and it was cruising along there on Friday. It even ran last week, what on the what was that? The 19th it ran. So that was 2 Thursdays ago. Yeah, I remember it was running, and this one's just curling up and looking great, guys. So SOBR, keep an eye on it. It is just curling up to that line. It ran 139 to 143, and it closed at 138. So it closed a penny lower than what it opened, but it's still looking really solid there. SOBR. So keep an eye on that one. We'll check it out in the morning. QNRX. This one, Coin Pharmaceuticals. We were looking at it before, and it had run up there. And when was that? December 2nd, the beginning of December. And let's see what it's doing because it looked like it was trying to curl up. It does look really good on my chart. Not as hot on FinViz, but on mine it looks great. It's coming up to that 20 at like 66 cents. It's at 64. And then the 50 is right there at 69. So it's a tight little channel. And I think it's going to blast right through it and keep running. So keep your eye on this QNRX. Just watch for any dip and rip situations. Obviously, it's been a common theme with a lot of these penny ones or lower ones. So just keep your eye on that. And but yeah, I'll be watching that QNRX to see if that wants to get moving because, like I said, that has some room, has a tight channel, and then it has that resistance at 79 cents. It's broken it a few times, so we'll see if it's trying to actually get set up or if it's just running around. RIME, let's look at Rhyme, and this one's way down there. It came out of the basement. It was running up last week, and it is just flat down there, right there. Let's see what it did in the after hours on Friday. Just flat look right there. Has to get up that 20s at like 11 cents. We're at 9, and it's not bad. I think we're going to get set up. I don't know if it's going to be popping tomorrow, but it just doesn't give me that look. Anything could happen. It's just flat there at the bottom, so it could bounce, but I'm just saying it doesn't give me that look, but it does look like it's setting up to try to move fairly soon. And AISP, this thing ran like crazy. It's up at the top. Beware. And we had this thing super early. I know that we were way early on this, down in the 2s. It ran over to 6s, I believe. What? Yeah, 653. It went 596 to 653. It could be topping out, and that is at Airship AI Holdings. And again, we were super early on that bad boy. So see if that wants to pull back, and let's look at some of these big cats. Our cheetah right here. Let's see. It was up 15 cents. We were looking at them last week, and it does look like it's trying to make that curl up. And like I was saying, it would have to make that hard curl, and it's trying to. I'll tell you that. It ran up there 319 to 344. It closed at 323. Basically has to get to like that 327 area to try to pop off there, like keep it steady. So we'll have to see if it wants to pull back a little bit tomorrow and set up, or if it wants to run up. And again, that's a market condition type thing right there. You can't really tell with Cheetah CTNT, but we'll definitely look at it along with the other big cats and JagX. That's Jaguar Health, and this thing was starting to set up last week, and we knew where that bottom was. It was at 85. It's over $1 now, JagX. Let's see where it's at. It just pulling back. It was up to 112 the other day on Thursday, 106 to 110, down to 105 on Friday. We'll have to take a look at it. It could just kind of bounce around right there as it sets up. So that's JagX and LGHL, the good old lion down here. This one's still getting set up, and it does not look bad at all, the lion. If it doesn't want to pop immediately, it's going to set up and start to pop in about a week or two. So So we'll keep an eye on LGHL. We'll see if it wants to pull back. If it pulls back, it's going to come down to like the 13, 14 cent area and get set up from there. If not, it's going to jump up over this 19 and a half and pop up off of there. And again, after the weekend, it's very hard to tell. It's trying to push up there, but you can't really tell what it's going to do. Had over 2 million in volume on Friday, so I'll keep an eye on that LGHL. We've been watching all these big cats, and including the Red Cat Holdings, our cat. We added this cat to the list, and it is just pulling back. It ran up to that resistance the other day on Friday. And let me just see, it went 1367 to 1455, and it is its low is 1188. It's at 1247, and again, it could be pulling back, and it could pull back to set up a little bit better there, our cat. So I'll keep an eye on that cat as well, and they are our big cats. And let's look at ADTX, because this one was setting up. It was trying to curl up the other day, had a little bit of pullback there on Friday. ADTX, but it was pretty red day on Friday, and I still think Thursday was at bottom at 18. It hit that 18 on Friday, but I still think this one's trying to get set up down here, making that base the bottom and going to try to get out of the basement. So keep an eye on this ADTX. I'll watch it tomorrow and see what it wants to do, but it is setting up there, and we've been watching it for a while, and it ran up a little bit last week, and it's getting ready. How about EYEN? Remember, I told you keep an eye on Inovia, because it's been running up there. Inovia, we were looking at it down, EYEN, and it did run what, 9 to 11. It closed at 9, but we were looking at it down here in the 8, so it ran up pretty good for us, and we were right there at the bottom, and it should continue to run up. It looks pretty good for tomorrow, so keep your eye on Inovia, and I'm not going to asterisk it, but I will put a double little mark on that bad boy, because I think that one's going to cruise. And again, it's so hard after on a Sunday, but we know which ones are set up the right way and can have the potential to move. It's just a matter of the market conditions, and after a weekend, and especially on a long holiday week with the Christmas and then New Year's. So we'll just go through everything. We'll know exactly what's set up, and we'll go from there in the morning. We'll be on at 7 a.m. for pre-market to see how things open up. But let's look at Ford and see what that's up to right here, because Ford was setting up, and it is setting up. It was down a little bit on Friday, but I'll tell you what, Ford is looking pretty good. It's hitting that line, unless it's going to not get through. Has that weird look like it had run up. We were looking at it 1003 to 1020, and even the other day we looked at it, its low is 953, so it got up to 1020, and it does look like it wants to hit that line, and I'm not so sure it wants to cross through. And again, that could be the market conditions tomorrow. If it's all lit up, Ford could easily hit the gas pedal and go. So keep an eye on Ford in the morning, and then look at it and see how the market's running. It's really hard to tell just how it closed on Friday and being the weekend, but I couldn't even be able to tell you. And again, it looks like it wants to cross through there. It came out of the basement, so I would assume it wants to run. It was pretty set up, and then everything pulled back on Friday for the most part. So we'll keep an eye on Ford. It doesn't look bad right there. I think it's pretty set up. And let's look at ELAB. This thing I think wants to run up too. It looks like it's trying to curl up a little bit more. So we were looking at this obviously last week and for a while here, and it ran up last week. It went 240 to 249 and closed at 241 on Friday. And again, it does look like it's trying to curl up there. So keep an eye on ELAB. It could be setting back up to run again, and I'll keep an eye on that in the morning. And let's look at that TWG and see what that's doing. It was trying to get set up there, and I know it did run up Thursday, and then Friday it pulled back, so a lot of them did, like we were saying. But let's see what TWG is doing. Thursday it ran 21 to 31, and Friday 22 to 26. It closed at 23, and again, doesn't look bad at all, in a pretty good spot, and could easily get cruising some more tomorrow. So I'll keep an eye on that TWG, and we'll see what that wants to do. SINT, let's look at SINT. This one was setting up last week. It started to run up a little bit, just kind of had that healthy pullback look on Friday. Yeah, I mean, it did pull back 408 to 410 and then down to 353, and it closed at 382. So I'll keep an eye on it again. It did cross through, and the market conditions are going to control this one right here. If it's green, this one should be trying to move some more. So we will definitely look at Sin again. I'll mark that one to take a look at it. SNSE. Let's see, because this one was trying to roll back up. I told you this one was trying to get moving again, and it had run before, and then it came back down, and it looks like it's trying to get cruising again, guys. So keep an eye on the Sensi Biotherapeutics. And it's in between that channel right there, and it does look like it wants to try to get through. And that channel runs about 48 all the way up to 52. We're at 50 right now, and it could get cruising. So keep an eye on that SNSE and KTTA. This one was starting to set up. It did go down a little bit in the Friday market, but I remember it did pop up a little bit in the after hours there. 280 to 298. It's at 296. What it close out here? 273, and it does say it did go up 23 cents in the after hours to 296. That is accurate, and it's in between that channel, and it looks good. I think they dropped some news, or they're going to be dropping news on tomorrow morning probably. So keep an eye on that bad boy, KTTA, because we were looking at it, and it looks like it wants to run up some more. So there you go with that bad boy. And let's look at GSAT. Here we go. Good old GSAT was setting up really nice. And let's see if it can get curled through. It's just a little bit flat there on Friday. But again, just a beautiful setup. I mean, it's curling up nice off that 20. I don't see why it doesn't get through. Went 211 to 220. 222 was its high on Friday. 211 is what it opened, and 203 is its low, and it closed at 215. And like I said, GSAT setting up, looking good. I'll keep an eye on it just to make sure it crosses through. But if it crosses through, it's running up. Has that resistance up here, 251, and it is setting up bullish to run down the road. So you can keep an eye on that GSAT and WISA, WISA. This is a semiconductor one. We were looking at it last week, and it did run up on Thursday, 210 to 266. It was moving around some more on Friday, 239 to 265. It closed at 244, and it's just flat up there, but it's not looking bad. It just almost looks like some healthy pullback. It got into the top, and it could run. So keep your eye on WISA, and you know these things have been moving when they get into the top. So it is a semiconductor one, and it could get cruising. So just keep your eye on that one as well. WISA and HAO. Let's see that. Let's see what HAO is doing. That's that small cap China one, and I know it was setting up in the right spot. It started to run up and got a little flat, hitting the 20. I would say definitely keep an eye on this bad boy tomorrow. It's looking really good to get up over that 20 at 13 cents. It's at 13. Let it get up a little bit more, even 14. It can get up to that 17 and get cruising. So HAO set up in the right spot there and should get moving. I would definitely take a look at that one. That one's looking really good right there. And LAC, that one is the other industrial metals and mining. We went through a bunch of them on Friday morning, and these guys are setting up. These battery ones and these industrial mining ones, these bad boys are setting up. This one ran up 321 to 343. It did pull back to 305 and closed at 310. So just keep an eye on it. Like I said, maybe you'll get a better price. It's trying to get to that line. It's going to cross through when it gets there, but it's just taking its time, and it is setting up. So just watch. I'll tell you exactly where the bottom was. The bottom was at 288, and you're at about 311, right around there. So keep an eye on LAC, and again, them other industrial metals and mining companies and battery ones are setting up. We'll make a good list of them, and keep an eye on them because they're going to be running like them quantum ones and the computer hardwares and them bad boys. ASPN, this Aspen one, this one we were talking about wants to get cruising, and it did. I said the other day this is going to run up there, and it did run 1225 to 1270. It closed at 1258 on Friday, and it is looking good right there. So we did talk about that one the other day, and it is moving up there. So keep an eye on Aspen. And SMX, the security one, this one was setting up. It ran up on Thursday, just kind of had a little healthy pullback there on Friday. Nothing real crazy, I don't think. So it does say it has earnings coming up, but I'm not exactly so sure about that. I'll have to take a look at it because these sometimes mine's been saying earnings and then pushes them back. And so I'm not exactly sure there, but yeah, it does. It's right in that channel now. It's what, 30 cents to 56. We're at 35. So keep an eye on it. Should bounce around in this channel, I would assume, and try to get rolling here. So SMX looking pretty good as well. And SFHG, Sam Fine Creation Holdings. And you want to keep an eye on this bad boy. I can tell you that just by a quick look at it. Curling up, took a huge dip. Reminds me of that PSHG one. And this one ran, hold on, when was that dip right here? December 11th, 21. It was opened at 21. It got up to 21.50 and its low is 250. So that was a could you imagine buying that in the 20s and coming down to 250? Wow, that's a hell of a dip there. That's why we don't chase them. But and you could see it was topping out there on the 9th anyway at $24. But this bad boy is setting up SFHG. Keep an eye on it because it's looking pretty good, and its low is probably in the 59-cent area is what it looks like, and we are at $1.27. So that one's definitely getting set up there. SFHG looking good. SOUN. Let's see what this one's doing here. SOUN. Soundhound. Let's see. This one has been in the top. I'd be careful. It is pretty strong up there, but you know what I say. When they're all the way up here, you know they're going to come back down fairly soon, and it'll come down fairly soon, but I wouldn't chase it up here, that's for sure. And we looked at this way down here to it, like the $6 range, because I know it was at its support line, and that one ran way up, but be careful with that. And LNKS, let's see what that's. Linkers Industries. Let's see what that's doing right here. And let's see, Linkers Industries down 57 cents. Took a nice dip right there. LNKS, let's see. 886. This is Thursday. It opened at 886, got up to 950 and came down to 231. And then Friday, 346 to 357 and down to 230 was its low, but it closed at 272. And let me just see what it wants to do here. It's a fairly new one, too. It just opened up on December 5th, it looks like. And let's see. It should tell me there. This says, yeah, December 9th is what it says on mine. So probably December 5th is probably accurate there. And yeah, it ran up and its high was up here at, what, 1027, around there. Yeah, I'll keep an eye on this bad boy. LNKS. The only problem with this thing is I don't have much data, so I don't even have an RSI or an MACD, and I kind of like to see that data, but you can tell it's going to be bottoming out. I mean, well, I'll keep an eye on this thing. LNKS, it did pull back some more on Friday, and you'll probably have to look and see if it's going to pull back some more. Again, it didn't have that hard pullback and that immediate bounce, so we know they can pull back a little bit, and then maybe I can get a better look on it. So LNKS, keep an eye on it. It could pull back some more. I'll watch it, and it is a fairly new one, so it doesn't have much data right there, but I will be able to tell when it kind of wants to move, I would assume. So yeah, we'll keep an eye on that one for sure. CRKN, let's see that Crown Electro Kinetics and see what that's doing. That one was trying to curl up the other day on Friday. And let's see, it was trying to run on Thursday too, from 14 to 20. And then it did 18 down to 14. So actually pulled back on Friday, but I don't think it's really that bad, to be honest with you. The 20's right there, 20 cents. So we'll keep an eye on it. It is back at 14 cents, and it did run up to that 20-cent area the other day, and that was in the after hours. So we will take a look at CRKN, and it just has a healthy pullback. It doesn't look bad. So we'll take a look and make sure that wants to continue going up. MVIS. Let's look at that one. MVIS, that microvision. This one's been running up. It's in the top. If anything, it is a momentum play in the morning, first thing in the morning. Friday, it went 146 to 168. It's at 151 right now. So, yeah, I'd be careful with that one. But like I said, early in the morning, if you want to take a look at that for a momentum play, that's what you would get out of that, I think. And that's MVIS microvision right there. And CRKN we just did. And hold on, what am I going? MVIS, ARDX, here we go. ARDX, that one was cruising up. And I know we had looked at this before. Let me type it in right here. ARDX. It did pop up there on Friday, 475 to 526. That's where it's closed. And it got in between that channel. It should pop right through there, I would assume, on tomorrow morning. I would think that it crosses right through. I don't think it's going to bounce back. So keep an eye on ARDX for that momentum because it does look pretty solid. And like I said, it does look like it wants to cross through there, so I'll take a look at that one. I know that's one we looked at before. And KORE is another one that ran up, and I think this one could be one of the momentum plays in the morning. And some of these bad boys have been running pretty good, so keep your eye on this. This ran Friday from 208 to 290, and it closed at 283. So I would definitely keep an eye on it. It's through to 20, through to 50, and the 200's up here at like 265, and it went like over that in the after hours. So it's a 283. And like I said, this thing does look like it wants to keep that momentum in the top there. And you know they blast off from there. So that's KORE. And that is looking pretty nice for tomorrow morning. So I would be watching that thing first thing in the morning. And how about FOXO is looking good too? FOXO. FOXO is looking good. That 20 and 50 were just kind of crossing each other, and it ran up Friday 29 to 38. It closed at 31 right there. So it does look good. It looks like it's going to hit that resistance at the 40, even like probably about 40 cent area. So see what it wants to do. But FOXO looks like it's setting up to try to move right there. So we'll keep an eye on that, see if it can get through that 20 and 50 as they cross. And if it can, it could get popping. So there you go with FOXO. And let's take a look at what is it? MYSZ, my size. And this thing was running up there on Friday. I know that it was on the scanners. It had run up there on the 20th, which was last Friday, and it ran what 148 to 794, and it's continued to run. And this Friday it went 447 to 1076, and it's at 621. So it has been a beast right here and does look like it wants to try to do something. Another one, I would watch it early in the morning, MYSZ, see if you can squeeze some more out of it. If it's moving up, you know you will. Just be careful because it's been running, but we were looking at this way before it even started to run when it was down here in the dollar range. So that one ran real good. My size, MYSZ, and DPRO. That's Dragonfly. That's a Canadian aerospace and defense, and I'm going to check them out later as well. But this thing's just kind of run up flat right there and doesn't know what it wants to do, to be honest. I'm kind of interested in what this even wants to do tomorrow. DRPO, if I could type it in, it would be nice. Here we go. DPRO, that's why. DPRO, that might help right there. And yeah, it's just over that MACD, and it does look kind of bullish right there. Even if it pulls back, I think it'll still continue its way up. So it's stair-stepping its way up there, DPRO. So we'll keep an eye on that along with the aerospace and defense. And LDIC, or hold on. LDTC, hold on, LDTC it is. Letter Tech Holdings, we've looked at this way before, and this one had run up there, and it's curling down now. I'm not so sure it's about to roll anymore. LDTC, let me see. I'd have to look at that tomorrow. It's over to 20. It is just kind of pulling back a little bit, but I'll check it out, LDTC, and see what it wants to do right there. I'm not sure if it does want to continue up or pull back. It's kind of a hard one to tell right now. But how about XTIA? Because this thing's been setting up forever, and it just wants to go at some point. It's flat. It's out of the basement finally, and the lines are meeting. So I'm telling you, keep an eye on this thing. I have a feeling this thing's going to get set up. Another aerospace and defense one. We've been looking at it for a while. XTIA. So keep an eye on that. And that True Golf TRUG. This thing's been running up, and honestly, it still looks super bullish up here. I'm not going to lie. It does look really bullish. 74 to 90 on Friday. It closed at 79. But again, it just has that bullish look. If it gets up over that 93, it's going to get blasting off. So it got up to that 90 was its high. So see what it can do tomorrow. And it's kind of set up right there, True Golf. And you know we were way early on that. As a matter of fact, we hit it the first time it went up. Then it pulled back and knew immediately it was teeing back off and ran for like over 100% immediately. So there you go with True Golf, TRUG, and FRGT Freight Technologies. This thing's been running up here and trying to crawl back up. So let's keep an eye and see what it wants to do. It ran 199 to 206 and closed at 193. I'd have to look at this. It could be trying to get cruising back up there. It's a tough one, but it does look like Thursday it did want to try to make it go up, and it did go up Friday. So I'll take a look at that FRGT, see what it wants to do there tomorrow, and let's take a look at OPTT, right? I think that's what it is. Yeah, Ocean Power Technologies, because this one was running up. It did cross through there on Friday. I remember seeing this running up Thursday. It ran up 33 to 60 and then 54 to 63 on Friday. It's at 50, so we'll have to take a look to see if it wants to continue up. Has that resistance at 72, and so I'll have to see. Again, it does look like it might want to pull back. You can't really tell. It's getting towards the top and it still has some room to go. So I'd have to look at that one tomorrow to see if it wants to pull back and set up more or just run up to that top immediately. It's just a tough one to see. EFSH, that 1847 holdings. Let's see what that's been up to here. 1847 holdings. And this one did bottom out down here at 20 cents. We're at 25, almost 26. Let's see, 26 is what it says here. And it is just trying to set up just slowly but surely. So I'll look at it tomorrow, see if it's trying to crawl up any better. It is a little flat right there. So let me just mark that one to take a look at EFSH, and I'll let you guys know what it wants to do. You can't really even tell what it wants to do tomorrow. That Mullen's been pulling back there. Probably the worst company in the world, like we were talking about before. They just dilute this thing nonstop. And maybe Friday was the bottom at 89 cents. It ran 109 to 112 down to 89, closed at 96. And maybe that was the bottom. I'll take a look at it because it's in the basement. Maybe it'll have a quick run up and you can catch a quick pop on it. But what a terrible company. They just dilute it all the time. I mean, we've talked about all the different reverse splits. They had one back in September. They've had like 4 in like a year or 2 years, something ridiculous. I know we've gone over it before. And that is Mullen, M-U-L-N, Mullen Automotive. And here you go at CPB. That is Campbell's company, and we were talking about this the other day. It's a $41 stock, CBP, and what is it, CPB? Yeah, I said it backwards, CPB, and it is hitting that line right there and trying to cross up. Obviously, Friday wasn't the greatest, but it was up a little bit. What it run 41.84 to 42.06, and then it closed at 41.81. So it closed like 3 pennies lower, but it does look really good. We were looking at it last week, Campbell's, and take a look at that bad boy because it is setting up. It's about to cross through, and it could get moving for you. And I believe HAL is going to be Halliburton. It is. HAL is Halliburton. We were looking at this in the bottom the other day too. It was down at 25.51. And let's see what Halliburton wants to do. It's at 26 something. And let's see, it's at 26.80. And it's just trying to set up. And again, that bottom was definitely 24.75 is probably what it was in the after hours. This says 25.51. So got into the 24s in an after hours right there on what day was that? On December 20th. But yeah, you're at 26, and it does look like it wants to start curling up and cruising. So we'll keep an eye on Halliburton because that one does look like it's setting up right there. And that's CPX. Let's see what that's doing here at Scorpius Holdings. It's touching the bottom right there. And it was just kind of basing out. And let me take a better look at it. SCPX. Yeah, that bottom was at that 25 cents. We're at 32, and it should try to get set up. That 20 is right there at 38, so it's not far off, and maybe it's waiting for it to come down. Maybe it'll take another couple days, but we'll keep an eye on SCPX because that one is getting set up right there. And BITX, let's see what that Bitcoin strategy ETF 2 times is doing. It was pulling back on Friday, BITX. I know that, and it does look like it's going to continue to pull back. At least that's the look it left on Friday. And the resistance is, or the support's at 50.55, and we're at 53.50. So we'll have to look at crypto and see what it's up to. I looked at it earlier, but I didn't look at it before I came on. So we will definitely go over crypto shortly, and we'll see what it's up to. But BITX does look like it wants to pull back a little bit. And cold KOLD, that's down $3. And let's see, it's trying to get curled up, and I'm not so sure it will. Let me take a better look, and we'll look at Boyle as well. And yeah, cold looks like it's still staying chilly right there. And Boyle, we said, was warming up. It's at $51 and looks like it's going to curl up some more. It popped up the other day. And Boyle looks like it's going to keep on boiling. So keep an eye on it. Ran up on what? To 53.82 on Christmas Eve. And it's at 51. And it looks like it wants to run back up some more. So keep your eye on Boyle because it does look warm right there. And cold looks chilly. And B Hat, let's see what that one's doing tonight. Good old B Hat. That's Blue Hat Interactive Technology. And let's see, that based out and bottomed right here at 10 cents. We're at 11 something. And just a little bit of pullback right there the last few days on B Hat. And yeah, it was trying to move on Thursday, and Friday definitely didn't help it any. So we'll take a look at B Hat and see what it's up to and see if it can get cruising there because it wasn't a really good spot right there on Thursday. It could get right back in there. So let me mark that to take a look tomorrow. And then we just do SPSX. Let me see. I'll tell you. No, we didn't. That was a different one. SPSX is the daily S&P 500. Yeah, I knew that. We definitely didn't do that one. And that is the 3 times bear. And let's see, it does look like it's trying to get cruising there. So maybe the SPY is going to stay down because this isn't that channel and does look pretty good right there. And that's the bear for the S&P 500. So we will keep an eye on that. We'll look at the SPY and all them good guys. And let's look at ARTW, Artsway Manufacturing. This thing's running up there. I remember we looked at this before, good old Artsway. And 217 to 334, and it's way up there. And this could be a good momentum play for you guys in the morning. So keep an eye on that one, you web bowlers, because ARTW could be a great one for you. SGMO, Sangamo Therapeutics. And this one is trying to set up there. Let me see. It's got an interesting look, that's for sure. It did run up right there. And it's trying to get running. Just a little pullback. I think that's a little healthy pullback there on Friday. So I'd keep an eye on that. SGMO, see what that's up to. And CPHI, let's see what that China Pharma Holdings is up to. because these small cap China ones have been interesting. This one is setting up right here. CPHI ran up Thursday 19 to 24. And then it would have closed out on Thursday. It closed at 18, and Friday 21 to 22, and it closed at 18. And yeah, I'm just trying to look and see. It's I think it's going to have to bounce back into this channel right here, and I don't know if it's going to pop tomorrow. Give it like a week or so is what it looks like. I mean, it's just I'll look at it tomorrow too. But it's just like giving me that back and forth look. I'm like, it could pop up off of there, but it looks like it wants to pull it back a little bit. I would have to look at. I think it's gonna wait to get set up, is what I think. At first, I thought it was gonna like just get popping up here, but maybe it's gonna get set up a little bit more. Hard to tell, but I'm definitely gonna mark it down because it definitely looks like an interesting one. CPHI, and how about that metals company? I think or something TMC. I think that's what that is. The TMC, the metals company. Yeah. Again, other industrial metals and mining guys, check them out because here's another one that blasted off on Friday, 88 to 111, closed at 109 and looks pretty strong and has resistance up there at like 130. So there was another one, and we went through a ton of them. So they were all looking good for the most part. And TANH, this one is a China small cap one. Let's see what this is doing here. Let me see. Um, Trying to pull back. It was trying to crawl up there, but I think it's hitting that resistance. This thing's been running around a lot. It ran around the 4th a lot. Then it ran around on the 16th and Thursday and Friday. It went 17 to 28, back to 18. And yeah, I mean, it just looks like it wants to run some more. It's about to hit that top right there. It could get into the top and keep cruising. Yeah, that one's a hard one to tell. I'll look at that one in the morning as well. I'll mark that one. And SLDP, solid power. This one had some solid power last week. SLDP. And it did 221 to 341, and it closed at 239. I don't know if I'd be chasing that up there, but that was some solid power last week. It ran the entire week from the ones all the way up into the two something. So that's a good solid run right there for solid power. SLDP and CERO. Let's see what that's up to. This one was curling up really good. I know that. I think we looked at it, or it was on the scanner. I know I looked at it. But it is. I would take a look at it Friday 7 to 8 down to 6. That's where it closed, but it's looking really good. I would say CERO is setting up right there. And PGHL, this one was starting to move finally, and another one we looked at and just were patient with and knew when it was going to start moving. And it is. We found that bottom at 105, and it ran up to like 180, I think, 180 something on Friday. What did it run up to here? 185, yeah, 141 to 185. There you go. So not looking bad. It closed at 158, and that is at PGHL. And this thing did run like crazy that day. $11, 11.35 to 210. So this thing was wild, and it's trying to get moving again. So keep an eye on it. And as a matter of fact, it's getting to be in a really good spot right there as I just look at it. So keep an eye on PGHL. That one could get really cruising again. And how about FAMI here? FAMI. Remember, I was telling you guys this thing was setting up like a week ago. It was looking good on Friday. I know that 30 to 33. It closed at 32. And like I said, it is setting up right there. So keep your eye on FAMI. And we were looking at it back here under 30. I know that because it was in the 26s and somewhere's down there. So that is FAMI. So watch that. And WINT. Let's see what that's doing. Windtree. This one was just on that bottom. It was trying to get out of the basement. It looked like it was trying to build a base right here, WINT. And I think it might be trying to 32 to 35 on Friday. Closed at 33. I'll take a look at it, but I think this one's tried to build a base and is trying to get moving again. And we already looked at SMX. I already had it on there. So there you go. Let's look at crypto real quick and I'll look at your messages, see what you guys want to look at. We have a few laptop travel ones that look good. And then we'll see what the SPY and the big caps are doing and take a look at them. So here we go. Let me just see real quick what crypto is doing tonight. Let's look at it here. And here we go. Bitcoin is down to 93,428. It was down earlier too. And like I was saying the other day, it was trying to get looked like it was trying to get pushed up, but you couldn't tell. And it looked like it could have got pushed down way harder. Still building that base here, so it could have gotten pushed down way harder than this. So it's really not. And the 10 is just kind of pushing it down. We kind of have to wait for it to get back into that channel again. So that's going to probably be the case with most of them. Ethereum is at 3,475. And, oh, Ethereum's looking better now. There we go. All right, there we go. Ethereum looks way better. That actually has the 10 crawling up on it. So there you go. That's a good look right there. So keep an eye on Ethereum, guys. It's looking decent. Ripple's down to 211. Let's see what it's doing down here. Um, yeah, just like Bitcoin, just kind of pulled back there. Gonna have to wait for it to get back into that 20 and then get curled back up. So Ethereum's doing it. Let's see what else is. Solana's at 191. Just been kind of bouncing around. Oh, Solana's doing it too, just like Ethereum. So Solana's getting ready to crawl back up finally. So there you go. Ethereum, Solana, Cardano's at 87. Let's see. Cardano is. That's just making a nice base right there and gonna start curling up. That'll be in the right spot real soon. So it looks like these guys should start to move again. Doge is at 31, just under 32, and Doge is getting right there in the right spot. So Doge is looking good. Chainlink's down to 21.41. I'll look at that and see what it looks like. And Chainlink is just kind of making a base. They're stepping down a little bit. Nothing too crazy, but that can still go down. Sheeb, let's see what Sheeb's doing here. And Sheeb's going to start getting better. It's starting to make that hook. So Sheeb should try to jump up finally and start looking better because that one's down. And let's look at Bonk and WIF real quick and see what they're up to. Good old Bonk right here. BONK, that was down. And let's see. Where'd it go? All right, didn't even pull up the chart for me. Let me try that again. View the chart. Okay, there's no chart. I'll have to pull that one up on mine. I don't know what just happened. And how about WIF? I don't know why it even did that, but it didn't. It's never done that before, I don't think. WIF, let's see. That one 186. And that one's going to try to get in the right spot in the next day or so. So let me see. BONK. Why is that not working? Bonk. BON. Yeah, that's weird. Definitely isn't working. Let me look at Bonk on mine real quick. I'll just pull it up on here. BONK because that one was a little bit ahead of them. So that's why I was curious. And yeah, it's about to cross through. So, and that 20 is right there. So Bonk isn't looking bad. I definitely wanted to look at it. And of course, it doesn't give me the look. So I don't know why the chart was not working, but whatever. We got a chance to look at it anyway. And there you go with crypto. Like I said, it looks like Ethereum starting to set up. Solana starting to set up. Bitcoin will be there. Doge was getting there and a few others. So there you go. So that could be much better for at the end of the year. It looks like maybe give it a couple more days and we should be all pretty good. So let's go ahead and look at some laptop travel ones real quick and then see what you guys are looking at. Let me blast through these bad boys because they're probably looking pretty good right here. The ACXP it is. Accurix Pharmaceuticals, and oh my, that one's looking good. It was just a little flat right there, but not bad. And yeah, that one just a little healthy pullback, but I would keep an eye on that. That's looking really good. AFYA. AFYA. Let's see, this one's a Brazilian one. And this one's just a little flat, hitting some support right there. I'd have to look at this. Let me see what it did in the after hours. It's between that channel, and it looks like just a little healthy pullback. I look at that tomorrow. APT, I believe that is. Alpha Pro Tech. And this thing's curling up. I'd watch this. This one's going to get rocking and rolling. Oh, wait, two different looks right here. Never mind. What it do in the after hours? 502. This says it went up. It looks like I'm looking at two different charts here. That is the 27th. What's this day? That is the 27th. This says 502. This says it went up to 530 in the after hours. Mine says it's down to 502 and crossing down. I'd have to look at this. I have no idea where it's at, APT, but I'll look at it and find out. Let me put a question mark next to it. ARMP. Let's see. This one's in between that channel and should be looking good right there. ARMP. I would say that one is looking good, so keep an eye on that to try to get moving. And let's see, BRAG, Bragg. Let's see what Bragging's doing. What's Bragg doing? Bragg Gaming. Let's see. What are they going to be bragging about here? It's on the 20, and let's see if they can brag that it's going up. It's just sitting on that 20. I bet it can bounce off this MACD and look better and get popping back up into the 380s there. So we'll keep an eye on Bragg just because it's a cool one, BRAG, and we'll look at that. CELU. Let's see, CELU. Let's see what that one's doing right here. Oh, that one's looking really good, guys. CELU. That one looks great. I would keep an eye on that one tomorrow for sure. That one could be moving. CMBT. Let's see, CMBT. That's on the 20 curling up right there. Let me see what it's doing here. Yeah, I'd say that one's trying to get moving for us, CMBT. It looks like it's curling up on there. DLPN, let's take a look at that Dolphin Entertainment. That one did cross through, it looks like. Let me see, DLPN. And Laptop Travel likes this. It did cross through. It's in that channel, and it does look good. It was just a little flat, not even flat. It was running around a 111 to 120, closed at 114, but it's in that channel, just flat, and does look really good right there. That Dolphin could get jumping up, and EQ. Let's see what that's doing here. And that one looks really good. That one should continue to move. Let's see on here. Yeah, EQ looks like it'll be moving tomorrow as well. Again, I would look at the market conditions, but just the setups on a normal day, you would see them wanting to move. FC, let's see what Franklin Covey's doing. That one's just flat but curling up, looking strong right here. So keep an eye on that. I would assume it wants to get running soon. And LFWD, Life Ward. This one did run up there in the channel and does not look bad. LFWD. It ran up Thursday 148 to 218 and Friday 209 to 210. Did pull back into the 170s, but came back up to 204. And again, looks pretty decent right there. So keep an eye on that LFWD. And LVLU is Lulus Fashion Lounge. Let's see what they're holding over here. And that is curling up right there. LVLU. And I would say that one wants to get moving and could run up into that 130s. It's at 114. So that one does want to run. NVNO, is it? Let me see. NVNO. Yeah. Veno something medical. I have no idea. Half these companies I can't even say their names. That one's in that channel and looks good though. NVNO. And yeah, that one wants to get moving some more tomorrow right off of that 50. It's at like 223 right there. I would say that's a runner right there. NVNO. And let's see what Rex is doing. Let's see what he's up to tonight. Good old Rex American Resources Corp. And this is a chemical company. I have a feeling these ones are doing well too. And this one's curling up looking good. And Rex looks like he wants to get running. So keep an eye on Rex, REX, because he's looking decent right there. And let's see what RGB is doing. Red Robin Gourmet Burgers. I remember looking at this. And let's see, their burgers are looking like they're going to be tasty real soon here. So let's keep an eye on them because they do look like they have some tasty burgers happening in the near future. And that's RRGB and Skills, SKLZ. Let's see what that's doing. And let me X out of this thing because I just made it all crazy there. All right. And let's go SKLZ. What is going on here? SKLZ. There we go. I don't know what the heck just happened. Anyway, here we go. I got it right. This one's been running up. It got into that channel, but it was down here at like that 424. It was beautiful. It's at 510 right now. And that is SKLZ. SKLZ. There we go. And yeah, it was just running up, cross through. And like I said, it's in that channel. It should continue to move up, I would assume. So I'll keep an eye on that one as well. And there you go. Some beautiful laptop travel ones right there. So let me see what you guys want to see, and we'll do our spy and our big caps and see what's going on for tomorrow. And again, it was a pretty red day on Friday there. There wasn't much to talk about. I think Coca-Cola was up. That was about it. That was even down. I just know it was running, and it's looking pretty good, I'll be honest with you. So keep an eye on that KO because it's looking pretty solid right here. Coca-Cola to try to run. So we'll look at that one. But here we go. Let's look at our see what you guys want to see right here. Let me go through some messages. And let's see. AMD. I don't need we'll go through AMD, Norbert. I assuming that you're just looking at that. What is the strike and date for that? We'll go over that. ATLX, Luis Rodriguez. Let's see ATLX. What's Atlas Lithium Corp? Oh, that one's setting up really nice right there. ATLX. Yeah, you might want to keep an eye on that, guys, because that's going to be moving for sure. I'll write that one down. ATLX. That's looking real good. And SMR. Let's see. SMR. New Scal Power Corporation. And this one's just kind of setting up. It is coming off of that hard support right there. Let's see what it did in the after hours. Yeah, just a little pullback right there. That bottom was 1764 on the 20th. We're at 1964 right now. And like I said, it just might have a little pullback. I don't know if you're going to see that bottom yet, but it is going to set up and it could try to bounce off of this support line right there. If not, it could pull back, like I said, into that bottom area where it was. So I'll keep an eye on that SMR. I mean, it is right there, pulled back off of that support line. So I could see it trying to bounce. I'll look at that one tomorrow. And DAVA. Let's look at DAVA here. Endava PLC ADR. I don't even know what that is. But anyway, it is curling down there. Had some weird looks. Let me look at it on mine. DAVA touching that 20 there. 3090 to down to 30 and closed at 3050. Pulled back there. I'll look at this one, Luis Rodriguez, tomorrow. It does look like it's making a base of it. It has a weird look right there. So I'll take a look at DAVA tomorrow to see what that's up to. And let's see what else is going on. He wants to see Sirius, SIRI. Let's see, Sean. Let's look at Sirius. Sean wants to see Sirius here, SIRI. And I know Buffett's been an investor in this. It was popped up there, then pulled back, obviously, after that news. And let's see, it's trying to crawl up. I don't know if it's trying to cross through just yet. It could. I'll look at it tomorrow. It doesn't look like it's making a nice base in this 23, and that bottom was back here at like 2047 area. I'll look at Sirius tomorrow, see what it wants to do, Sirius XM Holdings, SIRI, and see what they want to do. KITT is an aerospace and defense. Um, we just looked at it on Thursday, Wednesday, Thursday. We were going through them and it started to run up there. It got into the top. Let me look and see what it did here. How far did it run up there? 320, and then it came back to 184. So that one might have topped out there on Friday. So I'll look at that one or look at it in the morning if it's trying to run up some more. It's saying 218 here. Um, yeah, I mean, it could try to bounce up. It's a it's It's a tough one to tell just because of the weekend. It looks like it wants to run up in the morning, but I can't really tell. Obviously, you web bowlers will know in the morning KITT if it is running up there. That's a good momentum one if it is. So we'll keep an eye. I'll look at it tomorrow, but it could already be running up in the morning. IBRX. Let's see what Immunity Bio is doing. IBRX. Now, this is a really nice one crawling up right here. IBRX. Keep an eye on that because that one should be running right there. IBRX. I like that one right there. That one looks real healthy. And WHLR Wheeler. Let's see what that one's doing. WHLR. Oh, let me type it in here. Wheeler Real Estate Investment Trust. And it's just been pulling back here. It's run up a few times. It's still in the basement, though. Not really showing that it wants to run up yet. So I'll keep an eye on it, but it's not showing me anything crazy yet. And there you go with them bad boys, Sean. So I hope that helps you. And let's see what else is going on. If anybody else wants to see anything, the Pink Wolf wants to see Quantum Scape. That's QS. And we were super early. And honestly, I think it is just a little healthy pullback there from Friday. And this thing could continue to run up. So it did run 615 to 676. It got down to 576 and then it closed at 596. Obviously, we'll have to watch it in the morning, see if it does pull back. If it does, it'll set up to run some more, but it could very well just pop right back up too on a real green day tomorrow. So it depends how the market opens. And again, after a weekend, holiday week, and then New Year's coming up, it's all a little crazy. So the Pink Wolf, we'll look at that one in the pre-market right there, QS, because that's an interesting one. And let me see, RAY. Let's see what RAY is doing. I never, Raytech Holding. This one is trying to curl up a little healthy pullback right there. Let's see what Ray is up to here. Oh wow, Ray ran, didn't he? It's not showing that on the FinViz, obviously. Shows 144 to 134. It shows 160 to 188. It's really all it shows. And on here, 160 to 382, and then came back to 141. I'm not so sure after that kind of pop, but it also ran up on Thursday. So let's see. Thursday, it didn't even run up as high. It got up to what, 226, and Friday it got up to 382. Ray's a tough one to see after it looks like it wants to cross through and run back up. So I'll look at it tomorrow. Let me jot it down. RAY. Because that is an interesting one for sure. It's just ran up in them after hours and pulled back. So on a Friday, hard to tell. But RR is Rich Tech Robotics. Let's see what they're up to here. It's been moving. And I know we were early on this bad boy, too. I know we saw this down at the support in the 50 cent area, and it's at 290 something. And it could be topping out. I'd be careful with this one. It does have that top out. Look up there. So that is RR. And I'm not saying it can't pull back and run back up higher, but again, I don't like to chase them. So there you go with that one. And let's see, anything else? NMHI, Nature's Miracle Holdings. Let's see, Captain Banks. Let's see what that's doing. It was up 5 cents on Friday. It looks like it is curling back up, it appears. NMHI. And yeah, it looks healthy, guys. I'd take a look at this 194 to 208. It closed at that 208, and it looks healthy. NMHI, that's one we've definitely looked at. Nature's Miracle Holding, and it is looking solid right there. So there you go with that one. And let's see anything else I missed. I think I got everybody else. I believe I did. And True Golf, we definitely did that. It was looking pretty good. I think it might go up a little higher. I was saying True Golf. It had teed off. Let me see. True Golf. It was running up. Oh, I know what I was saying. It's about to hit that top right there. True Golf is. So it looks pretty healthy to run up 74 to 90, closed at 79. It is setting up bullish, but it's hitting some resistance up there at that 90. If it can get through that and bounce off 93, it'll get wild. If not, it's going to pull back and try to set up. So that's the best I can tell you. And again, after a weekend, I'll look at True Golf in the morning. And Jennifer Lee wants to see Wolf and Wolf. So she wants to see Terra Wolf, which is WULF. And that one's pulling back down there. It was way down on Friday, huh? And yeah, just let it pull back. It could be pulled back tomorrow a little more, but it will bottom out. It has some support at 490. I don't know if it's getting that low, but we'll take a look and see. And then good old Wolf Speed, WOLF. Let's see if this is going to get up to Wolf Speed. And this one is pulling back as well, but setting up before the other Wolf. And it does look like this Wolf is trying to get set up. So I'll keep an eye on Wolf and Wolf right there for you, Jennifer Lee. But the WOLF looks like it is trying to get some Wolf Speed. That's a semiconductor one, and it looks like it does want to get popping real soon, guys. So keep an eye on that WOLF. And the other Wolf, WULF, was not looking as good at the moment, but we'll keep an eye on them and see what they're up to. So there you go with that. EQV, let's see EQV, and let's look and see what that's doing. That's an interesting chart. That one just started, huh? EQV. I would say so. Thursday it went nutty. 1030 to 1179. It's pulled back and went 1020 to 1070. I really can't even tell. That one's a wild one right there. That's a shell company. I was like, there's something weird with that one. That's a shell company right there, Laptop Travel. And the top picks for call options and for the Mag 7, we'll definitely look at that. Let's go ahead and check them out and see. Good evening, Barbara. DATS and VRPX. You got it. Let's see what they're up to real quick. I hope you were happy that we got the other two ELAB and TWG to move, and honestly, TWG is looking pretty solid again. Just a little pullback look right there, but in a pretty good spot for TWG. So we'll see if that one can continue to run up tomorrow. And ELAB actually looked like it might try to run back up. It was in an interesting spot as well. So that looked like it was curling back up. But now let's look at these two for you, Barbara, and see what DATS, good old DATS, DATS, DAT chat. That one is setting up to be bullish, curled through, and I would say that's not looking bad right there. What'd it do? It did try to run up. Friday 189 to 190 pulled back, and I would say DATS is trying to set up right there, Barbara. I think that one looks good. And VRPX, let's see what that one's doing real quick. VRPX. Veerpax Farm. Oh, that one looks really good right there. VRPX. That one actually did run up. What does it say? It says it went 41. It opened, hold on, 33 to 44, and then it went to 48 in the after hours on FinViz. Mine says 33 to 52, and it's at 51 in the after hours, and it looks like it should get right through that 54 and just keep on cruising. I would say keep an eye on VRPX, guys. That one should get cruising right there in the morning. I would think that one's really nice. VRPX, good look on that one, Barbara. I like that one. So there you go with that one. IXHL for Bong Pre Chan. I almost put that on the list tonight. Bong Pre Chan. So I don't mind looking at it. It was crawling up. I know I saw it on Friday and it was looking decent. I know we looked at it the other day and that bottom was on Christmas Eve at 165. And on Friday it ran 181 to 2 and it closed at 186 and it does look pretty good. So it's in that channel, should get up into the twos and we'll look at it then. So there you go at IXHL, but it is looking pretty good right there. And let's go ahead and look at our SPY real quick and see what that was way down there. And yeah, it just took a nice beating and a nice pullback there, but it's in that channel. I mean, it's not even terrible, but is SPY when it pulls back $6 is a good pullback. So it did go from 5.99 up to 6.01. It wasn't looking bad in the morning, and then it got bad. It went down to 5.90. It closed at 5.95, and honestly, it could be it is kind of stair stepping its way down, so I would think that it might try to bounce back up off this 50, but it's come down to the 580s. It did it already on the 20th, and so it could do it again to bounce back off. So I'll keep an eye, obviously, on that SPY tomorrow. It is a hard one to tell, and the market conditions will be everything. Obviously, that's the case with that. And Apple was pulled back there. It came out the top. Just ever so slightly though. So it does look like it, I mean, it could pull back down here into like the 248 area, or it could just stay on top of this MACD and just bounce right back up after Friday's pullback. Very hard to tell right there. I know they're all kind of in a tough spot to tell, so we'll definitely look at them tomorrow morning. We'll go through them and I'll tell you what I think. Amazon's went down 330. It caught itself at the 20. It does have that pullback look where they are setting up to be bullish, but they do want to kind of pull back. But I'm not sure how much because every time they come back to this 20, they always get caught up and then end up trying to pop back up a little bit and stay above it. So we'll see what happens with Amazon, but it could just stay up there and get moving again. Tomorrow could be a crazy green day and they get really cruising. So very hard to tell. Google was at 194 and just kind of pulling back again, pulling back to that MACD line and could easily roll off and get flying there tomorrow. So very hard to tell, like I said, with all of them. Meta was down 354, hitting that support line, and they seem to not want to drop much more. I mean, the next one's at 540, and you're at 599, and I just don't think it wants to go down that low. So we'll keep an eye on Meta and see. I think it'll try to bounce back up. Maybe I'm crazy, but Microsoft was the only one I thought was going to pull back. It did like 758. We were saying it would. It's in between that channel, and it still could pull back a little bit into the 420. So we'll watch and see if Microsoft wants to pull back some more. Nvidia pulled back a little bit more than I thought, but this thing's going to bounce right back up. It is setting up to get wild, guys. So Nvidia is setting up for sure. And Tesla, that was down $22. And guys, it like missed, it came right through the support line. And next stop is that 20 where it should get hung up, but that's in like 413 range. So I would assume that Tesla is going to try to dip some more. And let me just take a look and see what it did in them after hours there. Yeah, it does look like it's trying to dip some more there, Tesla. So we'll look at it in the morning. And let's look at AMC. That was down, but it is setting up. I'm telling you, these things are setting up to do something here. That red day didn't help them on Friday, but we'll see what it looks like tomorrow. GameStop was up. I know that. GME. It was popped up Thursday. It was definitely up on Friday. I thought it was up a little bit. Let me see what it ran to. 32.31. It ran up to 33.05, and then it came back down into the 30s. It closed at 32.38, so it closed higher than it opened. And again, GameStop not looking bad. Maybe like that healthy pullback looking a little weird, but Chewy was up a little bit. I'm telling you, this thing's super bullish and wants to get popping. So keep your eye on Chewy because it wants to roll off of there and get rolling again. And Netflix, let's see, that one was down at $16. And like we were talking about, it was way in the top before, and we thought it had to pull back. Here comes its pullback, and it could come back into the 850s, I think. So that could have a major pullback if it needs to right there. So we'll keep an eye on Netflix and see if it's going to pull back a bunch. And how about what is it? AVGO. That is that semiconductor one that's been running. It was in the top. It pulled back out, but let me see what it wants to do right here. AVGO. Yeah, it looks like it might want to pull back a little bit to set up and roll off the MACD. So I'll keep an eye on that. MU was down like $1 again, and it is just way down there. We'll see. It's setting up for down the road, but I don't think it's setting up for this week. I could be wrong. Maybe it'll try to curl back up tomorrow and get back up over this $90 area so it can bounce off that line. But that's MU. TSM was down $1.43, hitting that 20. And this thing's been bouncing off the MACD and running up and down. So I don't think TSM is looking too bad right here. And let me see, there it is. Yeah, it hit that 20 right there at like 198. It's at 201. And like I said, I don't think that one's looking too bad. And that's TSM and SMCI. That one was down $1.76, and this one could be pulling back a little bit more. I think that bottom was still back here at 30.51, and you're at right now. We closed at 31.58, so we'll see if it tries to pull back anymore. AMD, here you go. It was up 13 cents. It's looking really good. It was curling up. I know it had a little run around, but AMD is looking solid. I liked it the other day, and it just had, like I said, on Friday, 124.66 to 126.18, came down to 122 and closed at 124.86. And it does look pretty solid to me, AMD. So keep an eye on that. AMDL is the ETF for it, and that one's trying to curl up again and run. So it did run up the other day, and I think they're going to get moving again, AMD. So keep an eye on that. PayPal was pulling back there, hitting that support line. Let's see if it pulls back under the support line. It's been pretty solid and it's been bouncing off of it. So we'll see. Maybe it'll pull back into the 85 area. We'll have to look. That's where the 20s at, or the 50s at, the 85 area if it pulls back further from here from this support. So we'll see what that wants to do. PayPal and good old Snow, SNOW, was down. And again, another one we thought was going to be pulling back. Maybe it's going to come down to that 50 at 146. So we'll keep an eye on Snow and see if it wants to fall some more. And QCOM, this one's going to get set up. Just a little healthy pullback on Friday. And I think QCOM's going to get rocking and rolling again. What it do? 158.30 to 155.52. It closed at 157.69. So did close down. Little healthy pullback, but again, setting up QCOM. Let's look at ARM. That was down, but again, I still think that bottom was the other day on the 23rd at 123.26. And let's see what ARM's up to right here. ARM. And that one's at 128.80. So, yeah, I don't know if it's pulling back down to that 123.26, but it is a little bit of pullback look why it's setting back up. So we'll keep an eye on ARM and find out when that one's going to run back up. They did lose the lawsuit. INTC has been looking good to try to set up. It's just flat right there. Keep your eye on Intel because it's going to get moving, guys. So Intel's looking really good right there, I would say. And which one? AMD, I said, and NVIDIA, I said. And Disney, that was pulling back a little bit. Let me see. Disney, that was pulling back, and it does look like it might pull back a little bit more. So we'll keep an eye for Disney. Oxy, here's another one. I told you guys this was setting up. Warren Buffett just threw a bunch of money into this bad boy. And it is trying to get popped up. Remember, we were talking about it down here at the bottom. Um, What was it down here? Boom, it was 45.17, and we're in the 48s already. And OXY, if I could type it in, there we go. It does want to get cruising. So remember, I told you Oxy was looking good there, and Exxon Mobil was looking good too. Let's see what it's doing. Yeah, Exxon Mobil is going to get cruising, guys, so keep an eye on that one. How about Mara and Riot? They were pulled back, and I think they're going to bottom out real soon here. And Riot was setting up, and I think they're going to be bottoming out very soon, maybe this week at the end of the week to get moving again. And so will crypto, and so will MicroStrategy MSTR down to 330. So that one's a heck of a pullback, and we'll see. It might even pull back some more. It's in that channel hitting right there. Let me see what it did in the after hours here. MSTR, and that one could run back up into like 376, bouncing that channel to get set back up. I would assume it's going to try to do that as Bitcoin and crypto are looking a little better right there. And let's take a look at CLSK. That one's down, way down. And again, setting up bullish. Let it touch down at the bottom right there. We'll catch that on the way up. So there's going to be some great opportunities. Coin, this one was way pulled back. Remember, it was over like 350, wasn't it? Um, yeah, like 349. I got to like 350. It's a 265. So we'll keep an eye on that to see when that one's getting ready to pop back up. We'll ride that up. DJT was down, but I'm telling you, this one was trying to get set up there and then just kind of pull back. So we'll have to see what it wants to do tomorrow morning. Because, like I said, it was trying to get cruising the other day on Thursday, and then Friday has that pullback. So we'll see if it's just healthy or if it is trying to pull back there. So I still think DJT was trying to get set up and running. So we'll keep an eye on that one. And let's look at fun because this one's getting fun. It was running up Thursday, it was running up Friday, and it's still looking pretty good there. PHUN. So keep an eye on fun right there. And MTN, good old Mountain. Let's see what this one's doing right here. Good old Val. MTN was down. This one's setting up. It may pull back a little bit. Let it pull back if it needs to into the 180s, and it's at 190, and then it'll get set up really good. So maybe we will see a little pullback. That McDonald's was down, but this thing's getting set up, guys. I'm telling you, McDonald's bottom was down here at 288. You're at 293 on MCD, and it does look kind of good to get set up here. So it is bouncing around, but it's looking pretty decent for to get moving there for McDonald's. Boeing's just been running, like I said, it's in the top and it just keeps going. Just be careful. But aerospace and defense running up. Space SPCE was down, but I'm telling you, this thing wants to go running in the space. It looks like it wanted to cross through and get cruising. So we'll keep an eye on this SPCE. I think I was like really early last month, but I think that one wants to get cruising. Rivian's probably pulling back a little bit here to get set back up, but we ran that up pretty well. And PLTR, that one is pulling back, but again, be very careful trying to short this thing because this thing could bounce right off the 20 there at 74 and get cruising again. I would be very, very cautious of that. And the same thing with Sophie. That one could just bounce right off that 20 right there and get moving. Just be careful with them. Dell, this one had some great momentum the other day and then just kind of fell Friday. So we'll see. It did cross through. It was looking great. And then, like I said, just pulled back on Friday. I think it might have just been a little healthy with the market down. So we'll see if Dell can rebound and get flying again because it was looking good. Nike NKE was pulling back. Let it pull back and set up. And DXYZ. Destiny's 100 is about to get rolling, but again, it's pulling back a little bit. See if you can catch a good dip, and then it's going to get ripping. And there you go with them bad boys. And let's look at the yin and the yang real quick, see what they're up to. The yin is down, but that thing is setting up really good. And the yang was up $2, and they are really crazy looking. That looks like it wants to make that hard curl up and is in that crazy spot. The yang looks like it wants to get wild. So does the yin and the yang both look like they want to get wild. So beware of them two. I'm not even sure what's going on over there with them. And let's look at NUGT. That one is the Gold Miners Bull, and it is just setting up, just pulling back there, and dust is the opposite. And it was running up, and it's just running flat. And it does look like it's going to run up, but I bet that's going to top out around 75. It's at 67 now and get changed around there. So there you go with them. Let me go through the scanner real quick. Let me know if you just want to see anything else. That AILE, we saw that one. RGTI, all them bad boys. I'll go through them in the morning. The QSI, the Quantum's SI Incorporated was running. INTZ, Intrusion. LAES, we've been looking at, and WIMI. That one we looked at. How about that LITM? We are talking about that, and QBTS and SES and all these other ones. So I'll just kind of take a look at them tomorrow morning at pre-market because things will be cruising around. Lucid's been running up there. RVSN, TNXP's pulling back. That one was a nice run up. So I'll take a look at that in the morning in the scanner and see what's happening. Let me make sure I didn't miss anything here. And let me just see. Let's look at T-Pet real quick. Hold on real fast. Jay Kratz wants to see T-Pet, Trio Petroleum, and this one was running up the other day, I remember, and then just had some pullback there. Let's see what it's doing here. Yeah, it ran up like crazy on the 19th, 85 to 459, and it just pulled back to set up, it looks like, Jay Kratz. So I think T-Pet might be good. And INDO, I know we looked at this the other day. Let's see what it's doing now. Indonesia Energy, yeah, that's setting up. I remember that was getting set up. That one's looking really good right there. It was running 285 to 302. It closed at 298 and looking good. So keep an eye on that INDO as well, because that one's looking good. I like that, Jay Kratz. And let's see. AMDL, we did that one. Let me see if anything else is looking. Let me see these. Barber, we got them. So AMC and Chewy are going to be my first options trades. There you go. She watched the video and not totally confident yet, but I was going to start with those two. And there you go. Pick one of them. I'd say let me look at them. AMC, I mean, they're both going to be relatively cheap and they both look pretty good. So I honestly traded AMC was one of the first ones I did because it was so cheap. So it's only at $4 and so yeah, it's actually a great one to start with. And I know I definitely started with AMC. That was one of my first ones. I know I did like Space, SPCE was one of my first ones at $6. So yeah, I picked these small ones, obviously, and like I said, and then I was not confident with it either, but after about 2 months I just started rocking and rolling and I'll obviously ask whatever you want, watch the video, you'll see what my option strategy is. And again, I think a lot of people, and I'll give you an example, just looking at Chewy, we're at 3407 and yeah, a lot of people look at it and say it'll get to 36. It has that resistance up there. You're at 34. Well, I don't really care where it's going to, but I know it's going to go through 35. So why wouldn't I just pick 35 and let it run? And that's just how I look at it. And that's just my strategy right there. I mean, I don't think a lot of people do it that way. It just seemed really simple and basic and easy to me. And I've been doing well with them. I've showed you what I've been doing. And yeah, if you play them smart and always try to find them bottoms, that's why I try to show them to you. And you keep an eye on them. Like Chewy was down here at what, 31.69, and you try to catch them bottoms. And even if it pulled back in the 30, it would be a nice pullback dip right there. That's where you want to grab it. And I try to find the lowest price I can, just in case it pulls back. That it really doesn't affect me too much. I know it's going to pop up basically the next day, get back to where I was, and get moving up. And then I always happen to pick like a month with these ones now with the New Year's. I would pretty much the last 2 weeks you got to kind of almost like eliminate them weeks and add 2 weeks to your options. So that's how I tried to play most of them and just tried to be smart, knowing that there was days off and things would be a little rocky. But yeah, I would even look at these like a month or two out, like maybe 2 months out. You know they're gonna get popping. They Chewy's setting up here, so Chewy's definitely a little further out, and AMC is setting up right here too. So two good ones right there. And thank you for watching the video, and hope that you it helped out at least. And like I said, if I'll make a few more, and I'll even do a few trades, so we'll really get cruising. And like I said, I changed the studio around. I was just trying to get that done today. It's always a ton of stuff. 10 runs to the Home Depot and Lowe's and all that good stuff. So it's always a pain trying to do these things, these projects. Things break nonstop. I break everything. I'm telling you, it's crazy. I'll break every tool. It doesn't matter if it has a lifetime guarantee. Just hand it to me. It'll be in pieces in 10 minutes. I don't know what I do, but I just break everything. I'm just used to it. I've been like that forever. It's probably how I got good at fixing things because I just break everything. And I don't mean to. I'm not even rough with it, but I do. I have like really tough hands, and I have a buddy that has really crazy. I always wonder, I'm like, how's this dude break everything? And I understand it because I do the same thing. I'm telling you, my hands are like concrete. I touch things and they're just like smashing to pieces. It's wild. I'm telling you. And but yeah, I can literally nail. I could knock a nail in with my hand with no problem. And I haven't done construction in a long time, obviously, with the brain injury, and they're still like really tough. So. Um, don't ask me why. I guess years and years of doing that stuff and just using them. But yeah, I definitely can't work like I used to. It's so frustrating, but it's all good. Like I said, I'm blessed to be alive, but I should have had this whole job should have been knocked out by like 1 o'clock this afternoon, and I'm still running around doing it at like 6:30, 7 o'clock, and I'm still not done. So anyway, it's all good. I know it takes me an extra couple days to do everything, and I'm perfectly fine with that now. So yeah, I'll have the studio hopefully all finished up tomorrow. I'm gonna add some lighting and do some other things, and then try to decorate it and make it look good. So that'll be good because, like I said, that gray was way too dark. It was almost depressing. You couldn't really have a look at that and be real positive. So now it's really much lighter, I'll say that. So you can check it out. I posted a picture of it, and it does look white, but if you zoom in, it has like this cool little like square little pattern thing, and it's kind of blends in with everything. It's kind of cool. I like it. So hopefully that'll work out well. And again, we'll be shooting mad videos and doing all that. So thank you again for checking out all the YouTube videos and everything like that. And obviously hanging out each night. So there you go. I think we nailed everything. I'm just looking and making sure I got to everybody. Let me see what's happening on StockTwits real quick and see what's going on over there. Boeing is trending there. Boyle is trending there. Look at that. A couple coins. ARK is trending. Let's see what that's up to. Kathy Wood. I don't even know what these people do. It's going down. ARK's about to go down. I'm not saying out, but it's dipping for sure. So I would say ARK looks like it's pulling back. I'm not sure what the heck they're doing, but it looks like it's pulling back at the moment. And then the rest are basically a bunch of coins. SMH, let's see what that is. That looks like it was dipping down too. VanEck Semiconductor ETF. Just kind of pulling back to set up right here. So nothing real crazy, but we'll have to keep an eye on that SMH as a semiconductor ETF right there. And what else? XLV. What is that? XLV, Healthcare Select Sectors. And this one looks like it's trying to set up right there. So I'll watch that. And PP, the Meet Kevin Pricing Power ETF. What the heck is that? I've never even heard of that. I don't even know what that is. The Meet, what? I have no idea. The Meet Kevin Pricing Power. I guess some dude Kevin made an ETF. I have no idea. But it looks like it's pulling back, so I'm not sure what's happening. It says it's up in the after hours here. Let me look on mine. Yeah, I don't know. It looks like it's pulling back to me too right now on mine too. So anyway, that's what's happening over there. and on Stock Twit. So again, thank you for hanging out, everyone. Greatly appreciate it. I hope you all had a great weekend. We'll bust into our pre-market tomorrow morning. We'll do our Joey's jumpers, our laptop lowdowns, our crypto. Hopefully, like I said, it's starting to look a little better. Ethereum and a couple other ones are looking like they're getting right there. So the pullback should be over, just about over. And honestly, for a correction and for it to base out here, I would say it's a beautiful thing. So not too bad. And we'll get that next leg up there. So that would be good. Our news stories here on FinViz, our Asian stocks drop on U.S. losses. Chinese youth flock to civil service, but slow economy puts iron rice bowl jobs at risk. Stock futures inch lower as Wall Street readies for the final trading week of 2024. Jimmy Carter, who led the country during stagflation, dies at 100, and Batman stock swoop to the market's rescue in December. I'm not even sure what the heck that's even talking about, but anyway, there are your five news stories right there. And like I said, we'll be back at 7 a.m. for pre-market. So thank you everyone for tuning in. The pink Wolf, it is the Pink Wolf and Winter Mute. Luis Rodriguez, Laptop Travel was on RD, Jennifer Lee, Tommy, Bong Chan, Sherry, and Douglas. What's your last name? Douglas Vata Vote. I don't even know. Something with a V. Pepe, whatever that one is. That's a coin. Valeria, how are you? Stuff Trading, Tom, J. Kratz, Puri, Sean, Kyle, Barbara, Crystal, and Alicia, and so many others that were tuning in. I greatly appreciate it. And also, I'll be on at 3 p.m., not only at 7 a.m. tomorrow, I'll be on at 3 p.m. on that stock market show. Again, that was a great show talking about some cool stuff. So you guys can check that out as well. That's a really big show right there. So I appreciate them just asking me to hang out and voice my opinion. So you can check that out at 3 p.m. 7 a.m. We'll go through the market, see how it opens up, and we'll find out what's going to be popping there. And of course, at 9 p.m., we'll be doing our late night show like always. So there you go, guys. Thanks again for hanging out. Greatly appreciate it. Have a great Sunday night. Get some rest, and I'll catch you guys at 7 a.m. So I will see you guys for pre market. Have a good night, and I'll see you at 7.